aren't royals, but it's nice watching how these princes and princesses fall in love. Am I right? Now, for this list, I actually took anime where the main male lead or female lead is actually a prince or princess. No dukes, no counts, none of those. So here are 10 romance anime with royalty. Let's go. Hey, isekai lovers! Isekai-gen is out now. It's a fun text RPG where you go on adventures, get waifus or husbandos, build your own cool power systems, go on quests, and do battle. Check out isekaigen.com. Now, back to the video. Number 10, Unnamed Memory.
最終的には何とかしますので安心してください。
ダメだったらお前が責任取ればいい。
ダメとか言うな。
You thought being a prince was fun? Not if you have a curse. Prince Oscar has been cursed since childhood. No woman can bear his child. After 15 years of dead ends, he seeks help with the witch of the Azure Moon, Tinashe. Turns out Tinashe is actually a nice and cute witch, so when he suggests Oscar should marry someone to lift the curse, or our guy straight up goes and proposes to her. I wish every romance anime protagonist had the balls to do this in the first episode.
俺の達成者としての望みは、お前がここを降りて俺の妻になること。で行こう。
Watching this anime felt like discovering a hidden gem among the usual rom-com clutter. The chemistry between Oscar and Tinashe is delightful, and you've got some fantasy elements mixed in too. Season 2 also dropped in, and even though it keeps a step back from the usual pace, it's still pretty enjoyable if you want a royal romance between a witch and a prince. Number 9, Tales of Wedding Rings.
そしていつか私を佐藤様の世界に約束してくださいましたよね。佐藤、そんなこと言っちゃったの？
Alright, hold up. I know this is one of those anime you need to turn your brain off to enjoy, but sometimes the less brain cells you have, the more you can enjoy harem anime. Don't quote me on that. Anyways, Princess Crystal escapes to her world and meets Haruto. When it's time to leave, she erases her memory, but somehow he regains it and jumps into the portal she was traveling. He crashes her wedding and marries her instead. He also gets the power of the Ring King, which is completely different from your usual Lord of the Rings lore.
ネフレティス。
佐藤様、王宮には治癒の力を持つ泉があります。参りましょう。
The animation and quality is pretty much the reason this grabbed my attention. This is the first time I've seen this much quality given for a harem anime. And by quality, I mean the production quality and the animation. As for the story, well, at least it shoves the harem anime elements in your face. So if you're a fan of that genre, you're gonna enjoy this one. Number 8, Seventh Time Loop. The villainess enjoys a carefree life married to her worst enemy.
そして願わくはどうか俺の妻になってほしい。
は？妻？
Meet Riche Irmgard Weitzner. She is like a cat, more like a lower tier cat because instead of 9 lives, she has only 7. Riche has already lived 6 lives, each ending in some awful war-related death. In life number 7, she just wants things quiet and simple. Too bad Arnold Hein, crown prince, future tyrant, and the guy who literally killed her in the past life, suddenly proposes to her. Now she has to decide if marrying him could rewrite history.
何ですかその手は。約束したはずです。指一本触れないでくださいね。
If you're into the Otame-style romance and villainous plots done right, Seventh Loop delivers, and delivers it so well, I'm thinking of picking it up again for a rewatch. Riche is sharp, ambitious, and way more than a lovesick heroine. Her relationship with Arnold grows from a political mess into something real, and their banter between the couple actually works instead of being cringe. If you need some royal romances, a good female lead, and some politics, this is the show for you. Number 7, The Too Perfect Saint tossed aside by my fiancé and sold to another kingdom.
早く来たつもりが。あ、すまない。
In the land of Gertonia, the Adenor family has been turning out saints for ages, with sisters Philia and Mia as the latest monster fighting heroes. Philia, the quiet genius, handles any problem like it's nothing, but her family, friends, and fiancé keep giving her the cold shoulder. Mia, on the other hand, is sunshine in human form and adored by everyone. But things take a worse turn when Philia's engagement is ruined and she's Amazon shipped to a distant land. But this might be a good chance to restart her life.
行こう。みんなすまん。今日は俺が先役なんだ。
The Two Perfect Saint delivers a fun mix of romance and fantasy without tripping over the usual cliches, and I really like the female lead. Have I ever mentioned I like silent and understandable female leads more than chaotic tsunderes? No? Well, you know, the romance takes its time, but it's worth it, so give it a go. Number 6, how a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom.
アルベルト・エルフリーデンは今をもって退位し王位を召されし勇者相馬和也に譲る
This is like the Civilization games having a story arc, and that story arc involves a princess, or princesses, because why stop at one? 19-year-old Kazuya Soma loses his grandpa, and before he can process it, he's whisked away into the Elf-Riding Kingdom, a nation on the brink thanks to a demon army. Instead of grabbing a sword, Kazuya gets handed the crown and told to fix things using economics, planning, and diplomacy. Oh, and he's also handed their daughter who looks like Saber, so that's a bonus.
私はリーシア・エルフリーデン国王いえ前国王のアルベルト・エルフリーデンの娘よ
お姫様だったのか
What hooked me was how fun it is to watch a hero win with brains instead of brute force. That said, this isn't going to be some masterpiece like Code Geass, but it uses more strategy rather than sword fighting to solve problems. Kazuya's logic, practically, and care for his people make the show really good, while his growing connection with Lucia gives you all the romantic tension you need. Number 5, the world is still beautiful.
私はお前とお前の痛みを分かち合いたいんだよだから戦わせてほしい一緒に
Time to put on my nostalgia glasses and move to something old and gold. In this world, there's the Sun Kingdom and Rain Kingdom. I guess you can understand why they're called that. It's all good until the Sun Kingdom's ruler, Livius Orvinius, decides to marry Nike Remircier, princess of the Rain Dukedom, who can sing storms into existence. With gossip calling Livius a cold-hearted tyrant and Nike expects the worst, and honestly, their first meeting isn't exactly dreamy. He tosses her in a cell, but turns out he has a soft heart, even if he tosses her in a cell.
ざけんなこの世はお前のおもちゃじゃないんだクソガキ太陽に飽きただとなことで人の人生狂わせやがって
The anime mixes romance, action, and real personality without leaning in the usual tired tropes. I know, the whole rainy kingdom and sunny kingdom concept seems a little dumb, but romance is the complete opposite. Even though Livius is introduced like some annoying brat, we start to see the softer side of him, and the growth of their romance is really well done. So if you missed this, give this a go. Number 4, Snow White with the red hair.
何かあったらすぐ俺を呼べよ
はい心配しないで
それは断るそれじゃな
Shirayuki, a red-haired herbalist from Tanabarun, finds herself in trouble when the silly prince Raj decides she should be his concubine. Not having it, she chops her hair, runs into the forest, and gets rescued by Zen, the second prince of Clarinice. Wanting to give back, she sets her sights on becoming the court herbalist. As she settles into the palace life, she realizes befriending a prince isn't as easy as she thinks.
もう少しだけ一緒にいてくれないかな
Watching Snow White with the red hair is like stumbling across a quiet gem in a noisy crowd. Animation from Studio Bones is soft but gorgeous, letting the story breathe without flashy gimmicks. Best part, the characters feel real. Shirayuki's determined yet kind, and Zen balances royal duties with compassion. And yes, sometimes the characters feel too perfect, but in the end, it gives the wholesome royal romance, and I'm all for it. Number 3, Apothecary Diaries.
お仕事ご苦労
それほどでもございませんこの男暇なのか
Just like Dandadan in 2024, Apothecary Diaries was the surprise hit turned anime of 2023. It's about Mao Mao, a super smart girl in ancient Japan who's just living her life until she gets pulled into palace drama and ends up as a concubine. But instead of sulking, she uses her brains to solve a strange illness that's making people sick in the castle. That's when Jinchi, a fancy and good-looking palace official, notices her and gives her a big promotion.
痛いです
そうかやるじゃあ あとは会場で。
What's cool about this anime is that Mao Mao isn't your typical love-struck main character. She's clever and focused, and it's fun watching her figure stuff out. The animation style's simple, but looks amazing. There are already 2 seasons released, and this has a solid fan base because it's not every day you see a female Sherlock Holmes stuck in some royal palace drama that involves medicine. Number 2, Tada never falls in love.
どこに行くんだ？送るから。
銀座だと思います。
思いますって。
Mitsuyoshi Tada is just a high schooler who likes taking pictures and isn't even thinking about romance. Until he runs into Teresa Wagner, a super friendly foreign girl with a camera of her own. They meet at a coffee shop, talk about some stuff, and surprise, surprise, one day later, Teresa and her straight-shooting friend Alec transfer to Tada's school. They end up hanging out with Tada's weird but fun photography club, and Tada, as you guessed it, starts to fall in love.
お前はお隣じゃないだろう。
よろしくお願いします。
I know this doesn't happen in a royal setting, but this involves royalty, and that's the best I could say without spoiling you. The romance is slow and sweet, the jokes land, and there's no over-the-top evil rival drama, which is pretty nice. The main characters feel real, and I actually cared about where their story went. Yeah, I even teared up a little at the end. Oh, and make sure to watch till the end credits. People think this anime has a sad ending, but it's actually a happy ending. Number 1, Yona of the Dawn.
こんなにボロボロになって無茶して死んじゃうかと思った。勝手に行かないで。僕だけはそばにいなきゃダメ。
And I'm finishing off with one of my absolute favorites. This is about another princess booted out of her castle and tossed into the real world. This time it's Yona, and unlike some stuck-up anime royals, Yona's just kinda clueless. Her cushy life falls apart when a family betrayal forces her to run with her childhood friend and bodyguard son Hawk. Hawk's the tough, level-headed one, while Yona's learning that the world isn't all gold crowns and fancy dinners. It's survival, danger, and love.
これでハクを殺されそうになって自分も死にかけて血が熱くて沸騰しそうに熱くて。
What's cool about how this show really sticks with her growth? I mean, at first, Yona could barely handle a bow, let alone defend herself, but as the episodes roll on, she trains, gets braver, and starts making her own choices instead of just crying about her problems. And the romance between her and Hawk isn't something plastered onto your face. It takes time and develops slowly. Usually, I'm not into the slow burn romances, but when it's done right, I can really enjoy it. If you haven't given this a try, watch it now and then go read the manga.